Cafe Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1464, and I am your host, Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valleymont. Today, Benita, the disgruntled fiddle player, and the brewmaster. And I had someone knock on my door, knock, and say, "Hey, I'll chop down that dead birch tree in front of your house."
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And I said, I got a friend that's gonna cut it down, so I think
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Yeah. And the guy said, okay, I'll do it for 100 instead of 150. And I thought in my head, wow, that's kind of nifty, but this guy doesn't have any credentials. I don't know what he's about. Maybe he's some fly-by-night organization. He says he lives up the street. But I don't have the answer to this equation because I said,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I'll get back to you. And then he just kind of walked off into the night. So what do you think about people that offer their services, but they don't have an accredited business to their name?
Yeah!
Like that kind of a quick sort of, hey, I'll take care of this for you. Well, I'll tell you something though. In my world, I don't even carry like cash anymore in this world because credit cards, I don't have a bunch of credit cards, but the credit cards that I do have, I keep serious track of because of this crazy Equifax world we live in. Oh, look, it just walked in. Hi, Ma. It's Benita the Rodeo. How you doing?
It's a disgruntled fiddle player. Tell you what.
What?
Doesn't my wife have a beautiful voice?
It is. I could hear her, listen to her all day, and her horse Nilly.
Yeah, Nilly is a great horse. Stinks a little bit, but super horse.
Look who else walked in.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy.
Brewmaster, have you seen these machines? I think Coke makes them, where it's every single Coke product in one machine. It's amazing. And you just touch the display screen. It's a computer screen, and you can go and get, like, I was having Barks root beer, like, but vanilla root beer. Or you can get, like, a Coke Zero, raspberry Coke Zero, or something.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Or get decaf soda drink. Oh, it's a mecca. It's a lovely, lovely, wonderful thing, and I love it oh so much. I enjoyed it. I was at a place called Jersey Joe's in Half Moon Bay when I was waiting to come back on Saturday because I got stuck in all that wonderful traffic because of the big pumpkin festival they have there. And I go, screw this, I'm going to sit in the restaurant and enjoy the bevy of different sodas. Oh, it was like just the most wonderful thing. All those sodas to choose from. Yes, Basil the Boxer and I had a wonderful time at Half Moon Bay on Saturday. I think I talked about that on a previous show. So that's my question to you. Do you give the guy a couple bucks to let him cut down a tree? Or is that a little risky? Because, you know, if something happens to him, what about the insurance? What's that deal? 336MM Daily. If you'd like to chime in and let me know, 336MM Daily. And I'm not playing the piano anymore in this part of the show, if you noticed. What do you think about that, 336MM Daily? Yes. That's how it rolls here. So the Trump NFL situation continues, and there was a big meeting yesterday. NFL had a big meeting and decided to allow players to kneel during the national anthem, saying it shows, quote, President Trump tweeted, and we will call this segment
The Royal Trump Tweet Decree.
You don't even know me.
Guess what Trump thought? Yes, he thought it was
Wrong.
total disrespect for our great country.
The NFL has decided that it will not force players to stand for the playing of our national anthem. Total disrespect for a great country.
The president's comment came after the NFL on Tuesday decided not to implement a rule that would require players to stand during the national anthem. Hey, here's the thing. So people go, oh, I'm so disgusted with the NFL. Ugh. And then what do? As soon as a game comes on, they're watching it. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. All this comes from what Trump said at that Huntsville rally from Huntsville, Alabama, when he was trying to campaign for that guy that lost. And I used to live in Huntsville, just outside of Huntsville. And I know that I like that city. I had fun there. I would move back. I've said that. I've threatened that before. I would move back. But I would miss the Bay Area. I love it here. You know, I posted the podcast picture yesterday. Oh, I haven't talked about the podcast picture today yet. But the podcast picture yesterday, who cares about today, was from Monterey. And I just, you know, I need to get down there more often. I'm going to go down again next month. It's so beautiful in places like Half Moon Bay. And I got some great... Oh, I should post that picture from Half Moon Bay with Basil the Boxer and me. Oh, I'm torn. And you can see the podcast picture, by the way, whatever I've chosen, at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, which is a wonderful spot with all the past podcast pictures. You can help out the show. If you do any shopping on Amazon, go through MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com first. There's that link. You'll see the Amazon link. Click on that and then buy whatever it is you're going to buy. And that makes... okay, should I do this picture? It's... No, I'm not going to do that one. Oh, shit. All right. There's... Yeah. So that helps us out through the Amazon link. I saw a beautiful grasshopper in Daytona Beach. Right after the hurricane, first off, it rips all the leaves off the plants. It's terrible. It did that to Puerto Rico, and then all these total, like... I'm okay if you're left-leaning. I'm okay if you're right-leaning sometimes. I'm a little bit more okay if you're left-leaning. But when you are so just in a frickin' bubble that you go, oh my God, we landed in Puerto Rico and there were no leaves. Of course there were no leaves. It's a frickin' hurricane. And you can't blame the hurricane on Trump. You can blame his response on him, because his response has been crap, and throwing paper towels at people, what the hell? That is forever going to follow him. If you're a Trump supporter, you know I'm right with that statement. I have a podcast picture here. I'm standing on this border, sort of this, it's a boardwalk that is in the area called Flagler. No, this isn't. This is Ponce de Inlet. Ponce Inlet is what they call it, named after Ponce de Leon. And this is a little spot, and I'm wearing my Space Invaders shirt. And yeah, okay, I'll post that because I have no shame. So see that picture at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. The leaves will come back. The paper towel stigma will never leave Trump, and that's how that's going to be. Sorry, Trump.
Wrong.
No, you could disagree. Let's agree to disagree.
Which is a very good thing. Which is a very, very good thing.
I wanted to get back to what Trump said about... Oh, well, we pretty much covered that. What's going on in North Korea? North Korea, what's going on there? Their ominous hotel of doom. Recent satellite images suggest that they've begun some kind of crazy thing. This looks like something you'd see like when they were building the Death Star in the Star Wars movies. New images of the 105-story Ryongyong Hotel in Pyongyang depict a construction truck surrounding the pyramid-like building as well as several other buildings. Tourist photos have also recently surfaced showing cranes around the hotel. It was nicknamed the Hotel Doom. It cost $552 million to date, yet has yet to host a single guest. It is a 105-story skyscraper, fully unveiled after being constructed for nearly 30 years, although its doors still remain closed. Project began in 1987. What? Under the reign of Kim Il-sung, North Korea's founder and, quote, eternal president. However, the 1990s famine and an economic crash in 1992 forced the project to shut down due to lack of funds. In December of 2016, visitors reported seeing signs of activity within the building for the first time in years, when lights appeared to be on inside the hotel. The shiny glass exterior of the triangular building was completed in 2011, but it remains a mystery as to when the hotel will be opened for business. And if they try and do anything, that hotel will get this sort of treatment.
They will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
By the way, this whole NFL controversy stuff, apparently, as I was listening to All Things Considered yesterday, and what is her name? Kimberly McEvers. She was talking to the guy who originally asked Kaepernick, because Kaepernick used to sit during the national anthem, and Kaepernick said, look, they actually agreed to meet. They talked for 3 hours. This ex-beret, and I guess he was an NFL player, was talking to Kaepernick and said, hey, show a little bit more respect instead of just sitting during the national anthem. Could you at least take a knee? That's sort of between sitting and standing. So, and soldiers take a knee to show respect in when, there's certain ceremonies. And so Kaepernick said, all right, I'll kneel instead. And this ex-beret is now kind of being criticized, and he's being blamed for the fact that Kaepernick kneels. But Kelly McEvers, when she talks, she has such vocal burn. Oh my gosh. Vocal burn is when you're doing this, when you're kind of really sounding tired. And so listen to this.
Have opinions, very strong opinions, one way or another, about whether players should or shouldn't take a knee. I mean, I'm sure you did not imagine that your conversation with him in San Diego that day would lead us to where we are now. But what do you think when you see all this now?
It's very interesting, and I'm torn myself because
when you take a knee, so she says it over here too. Let's see.
What's it about?
It's more of...
Oh, she said it again.
They got another letter.
Nope, she's normal there. Oh, there we go.
Other players are saying we're not going to take a knee. America, people across the country have opinions, very strong opinions.
Take a knee. So, I just kind of came up with the title of this podcast today. Knee. Seriously. But, man. Now I don't know where I'm going. Finally, let's wrap this up. Sorry, Kelly. I just am attracted to your vocal fry. That's how I am. Yesterday, Google rolled out a nasty, complicated, but insanely secure version of its Google accounts aimed at those who need it most, such as journalists, politicians, and activists. It's not pretty, but stands a good chance of keeping the bad guys out, called the Advanced Protection Program, APP. It requires users to jump through a series of hoops most internet companies have worked for years to make go away. Dongles, extra passwords, locked down systems that can't talk to anything else, and non-intuitive sign-up procedure. It is safe. Not, I work for the National Security Agency and print out the nuclear codes every time they change, safe, but more, I'm working on a Senate campaign and we really don't want the Russians or anyone else to get into our email system, safe. Hey, Democrats! That's something that should be on the list of getting. That's according to USA Today. Signing up requires a Google account. Well, there you go. So Google will have all that information anyway, and someone can hack into Google and take it. And then linking not one but two dongles or small devices that connects to a computer's USB port or via Bluetooth. Each produces and if you have a Bluetooth, go see a dentist. Oh my gosh. That was the worst. How did I apologize. Each produces a highly secure code key that uses the standards of the International FIDO Alliance for Fast Identity Online. FIDO. Woof, woof, woof. But my dog's named Basil. And finally, these plastic keys are about the size of a regular door key, but instead hold codes Google uses to verify that you are you and that you should have access to the account. The key can go to the USB drive on a computer or via Bluetooth to a mobile device such as a phone. Let's go outside a cafe anyway. We're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. While the secure accounts are free, the hardware to make them secure costs money. A USB security key runs about $25, while the Bluetooth-enabled keys are about $18. Next show is going to be Madame Rutabaga Valentino and Bison Bentley. Thank you for this show. And may I say, your knees look wonderful.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!